can't believe I forgot about these results until just now. So I'm so excited to share them with you on here. It was a professional that looked at it, and I cannot believe I forgot about this. It was just so long ago. It was tucked away in a file on my computer. The best guess from his program, if I was only 2 things, what would I be? And then it branches out and says, if you were only 4 things, what would I be? So the 2, I don't know if you can guess. The first one was Europe. Hi, my name's Danielle Romero, and thank you so much for being with me here on my channel, where I have been exploring my family's hidden heritage and digging into questions about being an American. So I put a poll out on my community page about, did you take a DNA test? And I've touched on my DNA test a little bit here and there. I actually did a video complaining about how much my DNA test has changed over time. And I did another video sharing the community groups that my mom had, which were actually really helpful and really interesting. But I want to talk a little bit more about something that I found on my computer that I totally forgot about. So I had my raw data downloaded. So I actually started with 23andMe, and I downloaded the raw data. I remember I deleted my account. I don't know why I did that. Like, I don't know what it was. I thought it was stupid and I deleted it, but thankfully I at least downloaded my raw data. So the raw data is pretty crazy. I'm going to share it on the screen with you. And while I was looking for my raw data, I forgot that I had a professional look at the raw data 10 years ago when I first took the test. Because when I first took the test, 23andMe was totally different. I remember getting my results, and there was like a little banner, and it basically said, congratulations, like your results are here. And it said, you're Italian, you're Irish, and you're Mexican. And I was like, Mexican? Like that? Yeah. So that's where all the questions started. And of course, that was a lot of other things too, but those were the majority. So that's how they introduced it back then. Well, I was really confused about the results. And so I was a part of a group on GEDmatch, which I'm really bad at GEDmatch, but it's kind of a place to dig in deeper to raw DNA. And I saw a man named Dr. Doug McDonald, actually, I think it's J. Douglas McDonald, was running a special project. And in this project, he was trying to look at non-standard DNA. That is to say, DNA that was not just majority one group and had ties to the Americas. So I emailed him and said, hey, I don't know if you're still looking for, some of the people to participate, but here's my information, let me know. I didn't think he was going to respond, but he did respond, and he took my raw data and he ran it through this program he was building out to interpret that data. So before I share that, because I found the screenshots for that, I want to tell you a little bit about what Dr. McDonald was doing. He's a chemistry professor, but he also does like genetic genealogy. He had a project that was called BGA. It was quite popular in the genealogy world for a few years. It was basically one of the more informative ways of interpreting the raw data for a long time. So what he was doing was he was accepting raw data from genetic customers and who tested through 23andMe and using in-house software that he had created and was building out. And so he gave me a chromosome painting, an admixture breakdown, and all kinds of cool charts and stuff that I'm going to share with you in just a few minutes. So basically, the BGA tests are not always accurate. None of these tests always are, right? But it was supposed to help determine the geographical origins of an individual's ancestors based on these DNA markers. Now, part of the problem with my raw data, as you will see, I'll put up here, I have a lot of unassigned DNA. So let me go through just a couple of screenshots here with you. So I took screenshots of almost all of the raw data so I could show it to you. So this one shows Italian on these chromosomes, Native American. And then page 2, all unassigned. You see all unassigned there. This page, more unassigned, West African, West Asian, and North African. Next page, all unassigned. It's a lot of unassigned. Next page, all unassigned. This is my DNA. Next page, all unassigned. Next page, all unassigned. And this was the first page. There was one chromosome that had Ashkenazi Jewish. That was the only one. And then this was all East Asian and Native American, and it goes down to European. So there was a lot of unassigned DNA. Well, that kind of doesn't make sense, right? Like, doesn't mean that the DNA it belongs somewhere. So I was hoping that Dr. McDonald's geographical approach could help me and not so much get a percentage breakdown, but get a step back and take like a macro look at this and say, okay, well, where are the basic places where my ancestors were probably from? And he did just that. I can't believe I forgot about these results until just now. So I'm so excited to share them with you on here. So let me show you what he sent me. And he explained to me in an email how to interpret the screenshots. What he said in this email is he said, please read the file because things can be misleading unless you understand how to interpret the data. And so basically the first thing he did was give me the best guess from his program. If I was only 2 things, what would I be? And then it branches out and says, if you were only 4 things, what would I be? So the 2, I don't know if you can guess. The first one was Europe, various subcontinents. And the second one, the other half, 46.5% my DNA, his guess was Mideast, all, I think it's pronounced Druze and Palestinian, which was like totally crazy to me. So that's what his guess was for the first 2, but he gets more granular than that. Then he has 4 population sets where he's guessing for my family. And I'll toss them up on the screen, but I actually thought they were really good guesses. So basically, the first column, his guess is some kind of an Italian. It's Tuscan, it's Italian, or it's Sicilian. I was like, that is accurate for sure. Second column has a guess. It looks confused. It's trying to guess between Sephardic, Armenian, Cypriot, Tuscan. Not totally clear on that. Third column, all Maya, which he makes a note about that. So I want to explain what he meant by Maya in a second. And then last column was the African American. He has Mendenka and Yoruba listed. So this seemed really, really accurate because I am mostly Southern Italian, Sicilian. And then there's some stuff that we're still kind of trying to figure out, more of like the Middle East, North African side. That seems pretty evident in the second column. And the third column is indigenous roots, and fourth column is African roots. So that was really cool. So he explains in this email that it can all fit without Jewish, which there was almost no Jewish showing up, just one little tiny fragment, but it requires some other kind of Mediterranean island in there or Caucasus area. He said the Maya designation is arbitrary. It's just North American indigenous, which I think really matches kind of my paper trail and my ancestry DNA groups, which were one of them was South Texas, North Mexican indigenous. But he also had screenshots that I want to show you and some pictures. So he did a map, and he explains on this map that the green spot is the place where the majority of my DNA comes from. And if you zoom in on this, the majority of my DNA is like Southern Italy. Like, that's accurate. Now, the other spots where he was seeing like majority of DNA, if you look here on the map, there is West Africa. And then it looks like maybe North Italy. I think the blue dot is Turkey. And then the red dot is Mexico. Oh my thing he gave me. The last thing he gave me was a chromosome painter. Now, I don't understand chromosome paintings. What I've read, it seems that if you see something broken up across different chromosomes, that means it's coming from multiple ancestors. And let's say you had something that was just only on one chromosome, then that means it's really just being passed down from one ancestor. But please correct me if I'm wrong on that. So my chromosome painter, this is what it looks like. There are a couple pages, I'll throw them up. So brown means too little data. So he couldn't even do anything with that. Red is Europe, which makes a lot of sense because I have a lot of Irish and Italian ancestry. That's my majority. Purple is Mideast. Now this is just like blowing my mind because I totally forgot about this. Let's see. I don't know why South Asia is showing up as gray. I don't even know. I don't know about that. Neon green is the Americas. So that would be, we don't have a lot of that, but the little bit of indigenous DNA is from the Americas. And then purple is Africa. And then here it's saying that yellow is also East Asia. East Asia. So there's a lot on there. So this is the most comprehensive digging in I feel like I've ever had on my DNA. And it was a professional that looked at it, and I cannot believe I forgot about this. It was just so long ago. It was tucked away in a file on my computer. So let me know what you think about this. As far as I know, Dr. McDonald is no longer, accepting for this project. But it might be really interesting to dig into his BGA testing. And I think maybe one of his calculators would be available on GEDmatch that you could kind of mess around with yourself. So let me know what you think about this. Do you think it was accurate? I'm still working through that much Mid-East. I forgot about that. I actually wore this shirt today. My brother Luke, who's been in Egypt, he sent me a bunch of crazy stuff from Egypt. And one of them was this awesome shirt. So I got that on. But yeah, who knows? It sounds like there's a lot more storytelling, and hopefully you'll hang around for it. See you soon.